What is Microsoft Azure? Well, if you're new to IT or you've been an IT administrator but you've just done it on premises, then at some point you're probably going to need to sign up for some sort of cloud service, as that's the way the industry is going. And what we see here is Microsoft's version of those cloud services, and this one is called Microsoft Azure. Microsoft has another main cloud service, and it's called Microsoft 365. Now, Microsoft 365 and Azure have some crossover, and this is where things can get confusing. So let's take it one step at a time. First, let's start with Azure. I'm going to click on More Services, and I'm going to see all the different services that are here. Now, every month, Microsoft is adding more services than there were the month before. So I remember checking this out a year ago, and pretty much everything fit onto one page. But now look at this. We've got pages and pages of various different services that Microsoft offers. So the difference between this and buying software is Microsoft Azure will host the application or the server, whatever it is that you're renting, in the cloud, and they'll charge you a monthly fee for it. Whereas if you buy an application, you'll need your own server. You'll need to buy the application, install it, back it up, and manage it yourself. Once you pick the service that you want and you purchase it, then you can go ahead and manage that application or manage whatever it is that you're getting. So you can see on the left-hand side the category. So if you want to view less icons, such as by clicking on networking, then we'll just see things that relate to networks. Now, some of the things do have some crossover, so you may find some things in both networking as well as web, or networking and storage, or general and containers. So you might see some of this crossover. It's available in more than one spot. But let's back up even further. So let's just go to a Google search and type in sign up for Azure. And there's our sign up for Azure option. You can click start for free, and then you can sign up and receive some credit for some services. And in this case, it's going to say, hey, let's create a new account. If you want, you can use a Microsoft account you've used in the past, or just create a brand new one by clicking on Get a New Email Address. Or you could use your phone number. I'm going to click on Get a New Email Address, and it's going to append whatever it is I put in here at Outlook.com. So I'm just going to put in some characters here. We'll put a lot of random numbers in. Finally, I got it. All right, so now we need to enter the password we'd like to use with our account. We can securely generate a password like that, or we can just type in our own. Now we have to use at least one uppercase, one lowercase, at least a number or special character, and it has to be of a minimum length. I'm going to uncheck the box that says I'd like more information and click next, and I'm going to say yes, I do want to save that password, because I'll never remember that. And now you want to put in the country or region that you live in, as well as a birth date. And I'm just putting in some random numbers. That's not actually my birth date. And then you've got to put in these characters. Now you don't have to put any spaces here or use upper or lower case. Just type them in as you see them. And then click next. And now we're in the sign up page. From here, what you're going to see is you're going to get included 12 months of free products with a $200 credit. Now, it's really easy to get past that $200 credit. So even though you're going to be putting your credit card number in there, you think that, oh, I'll never hit $200 in charges. Well, think again, because you probably will. You want to make sure you go back in and check your account to make sure you're not spending too much as you play with all these different products. So you're going to identify yourself. You're going to put in your phone number, your credit card, and sign the agreement. Once you have all that done, you'll be logged in, and we'll be back to right where we were when we started the video. Once you've logged in for the first time with your new account, you're going to see the option to log in to Entra ID. It's automatically created an Entra ID domain for you. So I'm going to click on Microsoft Entra ID. Now there's also something here to the right called Entra ID Domain Services. And this is for mimicking an on-premises Active Directory in case you no longer want to have on-premises Active Directory and you like to have that in the cloud. We're not going to focus on that in this course. We're going to focus on Entra ID instead. And I'll click on Entra ID, and you can see it automatically creates a domain for you. Now by default, it's going to create a domain that ends in .onmicrosoft.com. That's okay. In an upcoming video, I'm going to show you how to add in your own domain into your Entra ID domain. Now, this particular interface looks a lot like the old Azure Active Directory, even though it says Entra ID in the top left. But if you want to go into the new Entra ID console, we can type in a different URL. We'll just type in entra.microsoft.com. Eventually, they'll replace the old interface with this new one. And anytime you click on the Entra ID link in the Azure portal, you'll automatically go right to this Entra Admin Center. The Entra Admin Center looks a lot like the old Azure Active Directory one, with the difference of you can now have these drop-down menus. So instead of having one long continuous different list of links, you now have subcategories, and there are a few changes in those categories as well. However, if you go to Users and click on All Users, it looks the same here as it did in the old portal. And here are some users that I created just for demonstration purposes. In this course, we're going to be creating users as well as groups and registering devices into our Entra ID domain. And I'll also be showing you how to do this using PowerShell as well. Creating an Azure account and an Entra ID domain is the first step in managing your users, devices, and applications in this cloud service from Microsoft.